So, good afternoon, HSHMC school leaders. I'm here to go over our needs assessment and identify some very much areas of strength, as well as areas of opportunity that we might be able to improve upon within our school and within our community. So the purpose of this is to evaluate the needs assessment, as well as identify specific areas of need. Two that I've kind of isolated are assistive technology or adaptive technology, as well as interacting with the local community. We're also going to look at the development of a proposal to meet these needs that includes an action plan that touches on a little bit of school law and policy to support the thinking and really utilizes some strategic leadership, thought process, and evaluation. So in looking at the needs assessment for the school districts or school sites intent that matches the policy markers, I've identified there's going to be 4 slides because there's 4 specific areas with markers met as well as opportunities. So markers met for this area. We have a tech plan. It's a very shared vision. This is obvious through professional development and communication with leadership and all staff and personnel throughout the school. 80% of students are speaking with technology literacy and fluency. I think this is a huge accomplishment, and it really is because of the leadership that we have, but really the small leadership roles of the teachers in the classroom implementing technology, using the learning management system Haiku, requiring students to be accountable for their actions online, and communicating with other peers as well as their teachers. So we really need to keep that up. That's a great number. 25 to 75% of school district adults or school site adults use technology in their professional responsibilities. I would say we're very much closer to that 75%. All staff members are utilizing email, iChat, things like that just to communicate on a very surface level, but then most classroom teachers are using things like Haiku to present their content and material, and in some classes students are being responsible for responding within that Haiku. Some community involvement, that's an area that you'll see I've outlined it in red. We can really improve upon that area. Opportunities, forward thinking. I really think that we are very much forward thinking as a school at HSHMC, but I just think it's an area that we can continue to press forward upon, especially being that technology is always changing. 21st century learning, are we truly preparing students for real life? Are we allowing them to use real life tools? Are we allowing them to network with real communities outside of the school on real projects that they value and mean something to them? And what I'd love to see is eventually greater than 80% of staff is using this technology to improve their teaching and learning. The next part of the needs assessment was technology support focused on teaching and learning. The markers met were full-time school-based support with staff for network and web production. We have 2 amazing employees here. We have Alex and we have Marcus, and both these gentlemen just do great things for the school as far as technology is based. Marcus has redeveloped our website completely. He's created a community and parent portal that allows them to access school information, and this is just amazing. The support that these 2 provide is easily within an 8-hour limit, if not sooner, that they are on it, aware of it, and doing something to resolve an issue. All rooms are connected wirelessly, which is amazing. Some electronic curriculum and lesson planning capabilities are available. Again, all teachers have access to this Haiku and setting up their own page and allowing students to interact with content and present content, but not all teachers really rely on it within their classrooms. A good majority do. So opportunities, improve electronic curriculum and lesson planning. That goes into what I just said. Improving consistent presentation of electronic curriculum and lesson planning, and consistent student expectation to accessing electronic curriculum. One area that we might improve on is as a freshman, when the students come in, really what is required of them per class to participate on Haiku. If we set the expectation high as they roll over into that 10th grade year, 11th and 12th, it's going to flurry throughout the school, and everyone will know that the requirement is to engage within technology, to access resources online, and to present dialogue and discussions online. Needs assessment, the third page is district intent matches technology universal markers. The markers met, every student has access to technology at any time on an as-needed basis, adaptive as well. Instructional equipment is assigned to each classroom. Each classroom has a computer with projection device with an overhead dot cam, so they can freeze it and put overhead worksheets or any material they want to present up there. And best practices is supported by mentoring, modeling, scaffolding, and coaching. The amount of coaching that we have as lifelong learners and educators here is phenomenal. The amount of just mentors that are around to answer questions, to learn from through their specific modeling of strategies that are implemented within the classroom, within the hallways, and within the culture is impressive, and it's something we should be proud of here at HSHMC. Opportunities that we could really work on. Collaborative learning between teacher and student. I think this will be an awesome opportunity. I think we do great things to lower the affective filter with students and to really make sure we're on a similar level as learners, but are we truly setting up projects where we can learn together and develop together? I think that would be amazing, and I think we'd see a large amount of growth with students. One area that I did specifically address was adaptive technology using available and non-specific resources. Really, with extensions and apps, there's so much that is available for a student to take with them once they leave here for the school day, but once they leave here as a senior, that we need to empower them with these tools so that they can be successful. Classroom access to advanced technology, digital cameras, scanners, and handhelds. While they are available on a school-wide basis, they aren't available on a classroom basis. And that's something we could work on, but I don't really see it as a priority because students do have access to this equipment, just not within the classroom. And then integration of technology is aligned with all content areas. Again, Haiku is available for the teachers to use as a learning management system. Not all teachers are as reliant on it. I think we could improve that area a little bit. So needs assessment as it pertains to teaching, learning, leadership, technology, integration. The markers met. Educational leaders collaborate with a diverse group of stakeholder group. This is evident through the board meetings. Through community outreach, there definitely is a push to connect with the community. Leaders maintain awareness of emerging technologies and participate in job-related professional learning. Leaders are continuing to push themselves in their understanding of technology, how we as educators can implement it in the classroom, and are very receptive to trainings we would like to attend or even new ideas to bring technology to the school. Local funding action plan is in place for hardware, software, and licenses. And the amazing thing about HSHMC is we do have a fully funded action plan devoted to technology and professional learning. That's evident through myself and the 6 other participants that are in the current cohort in this program, as well as educators being sent to leading edge certification and to become a Google certified instructor. So it's definitely something that's valued at the school and is not limited by any means. Opportunities for growth. More informed stakeholder groups. So while there are stakeholder groups that are being informed, what we could do is educate them a little more, a little deeper, and gain a little more input from them. And again, more community involvement and access to technology would be something that we could really improve on as a community here and as a school. And streamlining professional development learning opportunities. I feel that there are a bunch of professional learning opportunities available. However, with Google Certified Instructor and with Leading Edge and with this program, I think it's great, but having more of a direction, even if it's for subgroups, of what the priority is after this learning takes place. Majority of our funding comes from our general fund, which is through our local property tax and state aid. I would say we are more of a state aid district as opposed to a basic aid district. This is being that the supplemental grants for our English learners, which you can see we have 20% of our population at least are English learners, as well as our low income learners, which are greater than 65%, and we do have a very small population of foster youth, so that's really where our state aid comes from. LCAP is utilized to empower our school and our community. The great thing about this is it's goal-oriented, so that we can address specific needs, and those needs are technology, especially being that we embrace the blended learning platform, as well as culture building. And right now, as a community and as a school, we're doing great culture building within HSHMC, but how do we branch out so that we connect with the community and that the community values our school as much as our students do? Common Core funding, this year, or last year, I'm sorry, we spent 75% of that funding towards technology so that we can implement the smarter balance assessments. And we also have competitive grants that embrace technology and blended learning that help support us. So opportunity, the proposed action plan that I'd like to present to you today it has three little areas. Meet the needs of English learners, Ed Code 52176, collaborate with the community, including Ed Code 52176, and provide access to a free and appropriate public education in the least restricted environment for special education students using technology. That Ed Code 52176 requires each school with 20 or more limited English proficient students to have an advisory committee of parents and staff to assist the principal with planning and reviewing bilingual education. I don't know that that's fully happening. I know that there is participation, but how can we improve that? So English Learners Plan plus community development. We need community input. Right now it's pretty limited. We thrive on culture and relationship building at our school and with our students, and that's based on trust. How do we gain that trust from the community? And then the action plan would be to have a student run after hours, so 6 o'clock to 8 p.m. Community computer lab, giving them access to technology. So cost versus value, I consider the value of this very high and the cost very low. Community computer lab, we would purchase 5 desktops per year at $2,500. Over a 4-year period, so that would give us a total of 20 at a total of $10,000. After 4 years, the hours could potentially be extended because we would now have 20 specific computers for the community computer lab. Personnel that it would take over 180 days would be a student worker at potentially $10 an hour, would be $3,600. And then a staff member at potentially $25 an hour would be around $9,000, totaling in 1 year $15,100. I think the value that can be overlooked is the community embracing our culture and our commitment here and really building that relationship. So it would be exponential as we start to develop those relationships. The next part I'd like to address is a free and appropriate public education and least restrictive environment. While this might be reaching a little bit, I think there's going to be a shift. Assistive technology, is it a thing of the past or will it be? I think it might be. With all access to technology, we're really going to begin to thrive on universal tools. I think Google Chrome is amazing because each student can present and benefit from their own experiments, or I'm sorry, their own experience using Google extensions and Google applications. I think this will require specific special education teacher training, so they could go to these Google Chrome trainings, as well as exploration of these extensions with a little bit of field research, how they work in the field, and then collaboration with each other. So it is, I would say, low cost in that we're spending money on training teachers. Then the early adopters, the special ed teachers that come back and embrace this, will pass it on to the classroom teachers who can potentially use it with their entire classroom. So tools, we need to give students tools to access resources and use as a lifelong learner. While assistive technology can be beneficial for many students, I believe that universal tools, if we find them, often represent what an assistive technology could do and are more accessible to a student. So at this time, I'd like to ask if there's any questions. I know that these are two very broad areas. I think we can continue to dive into them, but most importantly is giving community access to technology while collaborating with them, while gaining their trust to connect and build a relationship with them, and valuing their input, how we educate our English learners, as well as educating our special ed population as well as the total population as to universal tools that they can use within technology and take with them once they leave our location. So thank you for your time, and I hope you have a great evening.